Welcome back. This is Arunava Chaudhuri. You live on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot, and it's another live watch-along with Tajikistan hosting India in an international friendly, one of two matches that will happen. And let's wait and see. So, hi, I'm back live. Good evening. Ready for more? Yes, I am. I have a good feeling we will win. Let's see what happens. Let's remain for subject to come out from. Let's wait and see if and when and what the so-called update will be. Um, you know, one hears a lot, and a lot of people are saying a lot of things. So therefore, I always say, let's wait for things to happen, and then once that is confirmed, that things will take a certain shape and form. Then we can sort of talk about it and do it. Interesting to see how India shape up. Do they play similarly to how they did against Zimbabwe last Saturday? You know, and let's wait and see. But yeah, let's see what happens. Help with the much more. Hannibal, I've not heard anyone. If anyone knows here in the stream where the match is being broadcast, please let Hannibal or let us know. I don't know if it's fan code in India or somewhere else. You can chat with the players post match as there was soon players. Okay. Post match, there was nothing. I don't know when and where that was supposed to be because post match Kalyan was talking to me. So, Tajikistan with the first attacking attempt could have been danger for India. After talking to the players as it turns progress quicker, so there's chance for. Let's see what it is. I don't know where you're getting this from, Shoham. TV on YouTube. Okay, Tajikistan football TV on YouTube is your destination for now. Um, and the question is, yeah, so let's wait and see what happens. And, free kick for India from the right. And the Talco Arena. Ball comes in. That is cleared by the Tajiks. Throw in. Taken by Nikhil Pujari. Tajikistan keep the ball in. As we see the stadium slowly filling up. There's certain countries, right, that at the start of the game, not much happening. And then during the game, in that first session, the stadium fills up. Tajikistan stopped there by India. Akash Mishra. Akash, yeah. Can't control the ball, goes out for a throw in for Tajikistan. Throw in for Tajikistan. Tajikistan with the ball in their last line. India able to clear. Changte playing on the left today. Plays it back to his teammate Akash Mishra. Long ball forward. Vikram wins the header, but ball back to Yatimov. And then cleared by Islomov. Certain level of pressure by the Indians. And the referee having a word with Vikram and sat back Karimov. People want oldies to get out what the passion that oldies have are unmatched compared to newer generation. Shoham, that is something which I said the other day, and I also will say again and again and again if need be, as sad as it might sound. But these are some of the realities, yeah, that we face at the moment. Um, and so therefore, for me, yeah, it is as much as I would love to see younger players take the positions of the seasoned players, but where are our young players to replace? Oh, India, Jackson nearly able to win the ball. So therefore, for me, that's a very important thing. Therefore, also I've posted now. I'm linking at the top. Um, Pinning the message at the top. So therefore, that's very important. Iraq beat Spain, fears back is going. Yeah, but show him all those friendly results don't count. Don't show Tajikistan of India and over Iraq. No, Iraq and Uzbekistan. Let's see. Tajikistan on the right. Played through in the box. India has to be careful. Ooh, McCarthy, is that a penalty? Penalty given. 7 minutes down. McCarthy brings down Mabat Shoaib. Right? Or? No, sorry. Panshanbe, McCarthy, Louis Nixon, Sandesh Jingan having a word with the match referee. Panshanbe, yeah, penalty. Yes, the senior player, McCarthy. Exactly, Hannibal. That's the problem. And these are the things that you will not learn by playing. Captain Gurpreet Singh Sandhu today. Can the big man pull off a save? Penalty for Tajikistan. And the ball's gone in, into the top of the net. It's Tajikistan 1, India 0. Sheridin Boboev. Yeah, maybe it is. Do you really feel next I would choose? It was Crossover as a contract. Yeah, not smart for McCarthy and Boboev. With the goal, with the early goal for Tajikistan to give the hosts the lead in the 9th minute. Top of the net. Difficult for Gurpreet Singh Sandhu to get there. Yeah. Is the goal music the curb entrance in there? Theme, don't know. As expected, maybe as expected or as feared, maybe we should rather say. I said, and it's not again. What to say? Free kick or throw in for India. Rahul Baker to take the throw in. Sandesh heads on. Plate cleared. Ball with India. Ball as far back as Ricky Shabong. Headed out. Cheekson. Nikhil Pujari leaves the ball. Don't know why. No one's saying because young player did. Hey, Rushabh. I'm good. Good to see you back. Throw in for Tajikistan. Ricky Shabong wins the ball. Tajikistan playing and combining nicely, but that ball is a little too far for their captain, Jalilov. Yeah, India needs to find a way to get into this game. At the moment, Tajikistan playing their game, putting the pressure. Cheekson wins it, loses it. And ball cleared by Ricky Shabong. Tajikistan throw in India. Nikhil Pujari on the right. Why is everything taking credit? Tweeting about Z taking FIFA World Cup, does it even make sense? I don't know. To be honest, am I? Any clubs are going to play against Al Hilal and Al where we're going to SC where we're going to play against. Oh, we were never as good to play Al Hilal or Al Nasser. We were just there, luckily. So let's not get too carried away. Taking too early the free kick. Got a new job, so I wasn't able to join your stream. No problem, Rushabh. Good to see you back. Sandesh Chingan with a long ball forward. Edmund. Edmund. Can't get across to McCarthan. Vikram can't keep it. A defensive team conceding inside 10 minutes on a good omen, but it's football, so anything can happen. Yes, Sasha. So even if this new gym boys are not comfortable with English, I don't know if the next gym boys are not comfortable. I don't know what people are saying and talking. Uh, you know, you know. Akash, Ricky, and Changte will keep the ball in. Has to play it back to Akash. All the way back to Ralbeke. Sandesh. Nikhil. Jeekson. Oh, shot blocked. Rahul. Akash. Ralbeke. Does nicely. Good ball forward. And the problem having advertising on that YouTube channel. Throw in India. 15th minute running. Tajikistan 1, India nil in this first of two international friendlies. India keep the ball in play. Throw in for India on the left. And these are dangerous. Rahul Beke. Or maybe a chance to get a shot of Vikram. Attempt. And is that a corner for India? It was chunked in the end, I think, with the shot. Let's see that again. Vikram trying his luck. And Chankte. And one of the centre backs clears it for the corner. First chance for India, which will be taken by Arunava. Chankte takes it short. Chankte across. McCarthan or Edmund. Edmund wants a free kick. Indian teams would win 0 games against. So, yeah, better so. Good evening, Siddharth. Players, nationals are getting oily food. At least these guys should provide food to play. Who's saying all of this, Shom? I don't know where you're getting your infos from. Change your sources. McCarthy conceding back-to-back penalty right against Zimbabwe. Was it a tackle? No, it wasn't a tackle. It was Farooq Chaudhuri. Seems off to let's see. So another problem is that the individual award or that any player or club gets is not being distributed within players last few seasons, which is demoralizing them. So if you're getting those things or not, if you're getting whatever, yeah, it's not the right way to do it. But if that's your problem of not being motivated to play, then retire immediately. Seriously. I mean, people are creating stories and agendas, you know, and yes, I don't know who's saying all these things, but anyway. Uh, let's focus on the game. Tajikistan 1, India nil. 17 plus minutes on the clock. And as always, as I love to say, if you're liking this watch along, do leave a like behind, share it with others. And if you haven't, do please subscribe to the channel of arunfoot. Tajikistan Offside on the left. Do support arunfoot. And as always, thank you very, very much for all the love and support. I'm very happy to see nearly 2,300 views of the Shan Hundal interview. Thank you very, very much. And keep on supporting arunfoot, as I always love to say. McCarthan. Oh, good ball for Chankte. Lalinzola chunked the ball into the danger area and none of the Indian attackers moved towards the ball. Good ball into the danger area from Chankte. Akash to do the throw in, yeah. That was not a children's team. Yeah, that's the thing. Surely the national team is providing you not the service that you get in an ISL team. But I think, let's put it this way, I think if you are setting the standards that clubs set, I think a lot of players would not be playing in certain countries in Africa, in South America, or parts of Asia. Yeah. Evening, we will do well. Full support. I request all fans to be positive. Jordan, thanks. Yeah, very important. Not always easy. Well, Becky clears the ball. Hitesh, I've not seen enough of her to be having an opinion, really. Rekisha Bong gets another game. an India shirt. Throw in Tajikistan on the right, taken by Karimov. What? Akash has to be careful. Ooh, ball bounces widely, but Gurpreet does well. Headed out by the Tajiks. Nakathan can't win the ball. Cleared by Sandesh. Edmund, sorry, been a passenger again today. Edmund has to do more. Has to be one of our key players, which he hasn't been able to. And Tajikistan win the ball back. What options does Khalid Jamil have? He has Ritik Tiwani, Albino Gomes as goalkeepers, Paramveer Singh, Vijay Varghese, Nikhil Barla, Naurem Parthab Gogoi, Farooq Chaudhuri, PN Nufal, Mohammad Sana, and Rahim Ali. Nikhil Pujari with the throw. When will we get our golden generation in other countries? Sure, no idea. I would be happy if we have a golden player as we've had over the last 20, 30 years. Always, we had Am Vijay and Baicham Bhutia, Sunil Chetri. That one player was the difference. You don't need to glorify our football anyway. All the problems that we've had, but India losing the ball again and again in build-up. So I would a generation would be brilliant, but even one or two good players would be good. Are the owners Supergiant players backs? If so, where is Amitabh? No, Sasha, there is no player from Moma Supergiant nor from the Kerala Blasters as well. Who, according to you, should start in front in final for New Women? Nagma Grace and Piari or Linda.com? I don't even know if any of the three would be starting, according to the logic of Crispin Chetri, where again, I don't understand who's starting and why. Yeah, so that's the thing. Chante, unable to control the ball. Ricky loses the ball. Jackson up with his arms. Tajikistan playing from left to right. All out wide. Good football from the Tajiks. Making India run. Played back from the right to the left. Tajikistan in an attacking mode. India has to be careful. Into the danger area. Cleared by Sandesh and then by Nikhil Pujari. Edmund at least wins a throw in. Ball cleared against Chante. Throw in India. I haven't seen Baicham play. How was he and was he good enough for European football? Sure, he played 3 years at Bury. Of course, he had certain injury problems and all, but he played at least. And yeah, so therefore, that's to me a very, very important thing. Headed on. India with a chance potentially cleared by Tajikistan. Nikhil plays the ball wide. Crossed in by Changte. Nikhil header. It's a lot of physicality. That should be a foul against India. And that's even a yellow card. Against Edmund. I'm not liking Edmund's game. I said it earlier. Also felt that on Saturday in London, Edmund with a foul, I think on Karimov. I like how Khalid pointed out the thing about apparent oldies that they can be trusted and called upon anytime, any day. You don't have to worry about them making it to the team. Yeah. This reminds how Steven would say there are players who have really bad attitudes. You have to run behind them to get them into the camp. And Edru saying, get all the seniors out. Rishabh, this is the whole problem, right? There are people who are calling for these, young players out, this, that, young players in, and this and that. And there's an attitude problem. I was disturbed. I'll be telling you, I'll tell you this. I don't know if I said this earlier, but what I saw on Saturday in London, if I see the way that certain players were warming up, in a certain way that do they really want to wear the India jersey? Would be my question to you. And so, therefore, for me, um, that question needs to be asked. So the question is, a performance is yes, right? If there is a young player tomorrow that needs to walk into the national team, I'll say that. I don't see those players. And as long as we don't have better players, we have to live with the same that we have, right? Without strong physical stamina, India will not be competitive. Yeah, I don't know if that's the physicality is all what we need. We need quality footballers. We don't have quality players coming through the system, and then we've got the spoiled brat mentality. Too easy money in the ISL. Good pass from Akash, picked up by McCarthan. That trying to leave it for Changte. That's gonna be a throw in for Tajikistan. Edmund kicked player in head. Yeah, but and Edmund is one of those, right? If you see his development, was talented. Nice turn, Changte. Changte with the cross into the danger area, headed out by Tajikistan. India trying to play. And yeah, that's the thing about Edmund. And again, Edmund is not a young, talented player. He's already 27. Never forget that. Sadly, as it is. Some other channels said Edmund's playing false nine. How about just playing a simple game before trying high difficulty level? Sasha, who says that? I mean, my question is: these some people throw out terms, and teams playing this, teams playing that, teams doing this, teams doing that. They're not, right? They're just simply playing football, and let them play football, and yeah. So that's your thingy. People make it complex. We need to play possession football. We need to do this. We need to do that. Very sad. India has no goal scorers. Yeah, Hitesh, it looks like it at the moment. That's one of the most difficult things for us. Who's going to score the goals for us? And, very difficult. India may have a chance to break. Oh, that's a foul for India. Vikram. Vikram Pratap fouled in this instance by Idga Chef. In India, players of the Jesse Lingard development pattern, they remain a potential talent until the age of 33. Nice one, Sasha. Nice one. Shankar with the free kick. Not enough height, but still India has the ball. Back to Changte. Maybe with the second chance. This time the chip is better. Doesn't get to Sandesh. The ball's cleared. Edmund plays it as far back as Ricky Shabong. Ricky plays it back to his keeper. Gurpreet high. Sandesh. McCarthan. And the ball is lost by Vikram. Foul from Jigson. Yeah. Foul from Jigson on Mabat Shoev. Ashish Niki has been almost like a pioneer of this. Get all the young kids in and seniors out. Everyone thinks it's straight up black and white, this and that. We go to the World Cup, absolutely lose. Rishabh, again, I have a lot of respect for Ashish and what he does for Indian football in regard to trying to cover it, but not all opinions, in my opinion, are right. So, and this whole, like put the youngsters in, he's been pushing, he pushed the under 17s, he pushed the under 23s. Sorry, you've seen yourself in Germany year before when that under 17 played. You should know it better. So, what to say? So therefore, and again, also these agenda things sometimes I feel, guys, you are carrying a story. Tajikistan, cleared by Nikhil Pujari for a throw in. Oh, no, no, what are we watching? Why? Anupam, good question. Sometimes that we have to ask ourselves this question, but yeah, very difficult to watch because we now have a quality issue on one side, a mentality issue as well, which has grown over the last 3, 4 years. So let's be very, very clear about that. And yeah, I don't like calling people. Ashish has some strong opinions, but his co-host today claimed he's a world football expert. Even Ashish could barely keep a straight face. Just thought that was extremely funny for him to yeah, but again, these kids, younger guys, all of them overestimate themselves and their knowledge and understanding, right? And um, oh, Tajik player down. All the wannabe intellectual football fans get all the education or ideas from YouTubers. Even me, says Hannibal. Yeah, but Hannibal, maybe you pick it up from the right people and have made now. I always say, listen, you can pick up the right infos. You need to be able to judge who's right, who's wrong, and who's spreading also this information, that information. Why are they spreading this information, that information? To me, that's also sometimes a factor. Because to me, some of the people with some of the facts, better keep it to yourself than rather share it. It was interesting when my friend Johnson the other day went on 420 grams and tried to explain certain things, and people, sorry, no one listened to that, right? And Johnson had very clear point. Johnson was there for the whole week. Johnson saw what I have seen over the years. Does the coaching staff have a strategy or the players don't know what to do, or do I not understand football basics? Ochut, you do not understand football basics would be my summary from this. No, jokes apart. Yeah, it just adds up that people, the coaching staff up, and Ricky, uncontrolled header. Tajikistan has the ball back. Nikhil blasts it forward, headed out by Tajikistan, headed back by Tajikistan to their keeper. Ochut, coaches need to be asked the question, and no one is going to ask. Yatimov with the ball. So that's the problem that we have. Mm, very difficult. Very difficult. Long ball forward. And Akash heads it back. Too good, Preet. Preet puts it wide. Or maybe a chance for Chantino. Cleared by the Tajik defense. Yeah, Jackson intercepts, loses the ball. And Rahul clears for him. You want to follow a good channel that explains how coaches and execute tactics, check out Football Meta on YouTube. Don't know him. And this is not a plug, but there are good people out there. Okay, Sasha. I stopped watching photograph after the video they did about commercial partner failing tender. Provote mediating the club proposal for ISS Padula. Let's see who's mediating for what, if something comes out or not. Tajikistan. These friendlies are practice for upcoming SAF World Cup, right? No wonder we're playing like absolute mad lads. Anupam, this whole conversation about um, you know, Tajikistan, won't get to it. My problem is with what did Khalid say? Khalid, and that again, if you know Khalid a little, would know Khalid a little bit and understand Khalid a little bit, which I'm trying to do, give him a little leeway as well. Um, is that he he's the way he is, right? If you want Khalid Jamil, you will get Khalid Jamil. If you want anything more than this, I felt even that's why we said amongst Sportfolio and myself, we said, listen, let's try get the video out at least with the excerpts, which of quality is fine. And to me, yeah, he said what he means. And I don't think India can have a long-term strategy with players because you don't even know if a player is around in 12 months, in 18 months at the top level, right? India lose the ball in build-up again. Ball with Tajikistan on the left. Trying to build up. Play it backwards. This Abhijit Chavda guy recently reviewed on Indian football. I hope that student lecturers must be theorists stay from Indian football. Okay. Now it doesn't mind me saying I would also just read some of Miguel Cayo and Jamie Hamilton on Medium. And you haven't written before. Inverting the Pyramid by Jonathan Wilson. So good you want to learn how football tactics evolved. Surely. Ball back to Gurpreet. Oop. Ball nearly went under his feet. And the big man with the long clearance. None of his players are there. Ball jumps back. And Baker leaves it for his keeper. I have a project that we're creating something like ground news, bringing all news at one place in scales of BS and legitimate news. Rushabh, if someone can build it. Yes, says Anibal. Okay, enough. Now bring my idol, Raimali. Yeah. Tajik player down. Once again. Yeah, hurt himself. The right back, Khanomov, against Vikram Pratap. Khanomov being treated off the field. And once again, a reminder to all of you watching, please like, please share, and please subscribe to Arunfoot. We've grown quite a bit in the last week. That's a good cross in, and that's against the woodwork. Edmund. Akash Mishra. And on top of the crossbar, best chance for India in the 39th minute. We're at 4,438 subscribers on Arunfoot. Thank you very much. And the Shan Hundal interview has had more than 2,300 views. So thank you very much. Good effort. Very good effort, I would say. Throw in Tajikistan on the right. Vikram steals the ball. Jikson. That ball for McCarthan doesn't reach him. Tajikistan. Football-wise, better than us. You can just see and feel it. Edmund falls and slips. Difficult job for India. Keeper chips it. Jikson's first touches are terrible. Vikram wins it. Akash. Jikson. Ricky Shabong, Jikson. Edmund. Ricky. Vikram will try and keep the ball in. Yes, he does for Akash Mishra. Akash with the cross. Changte header! And the goalkeeper has it. Good bit of play by India. 5-6 good passes. Vikram, back heel, Akash Mishra, cross. And Lalizwala Changte with the header, but no problem for keeper Yatimov. Best opportunity for India, best build-up. Akash Mishra directly once again wants to play Edmund, but Tajikistan can intercept that long ball. Not a problem. Rahul Beke picks it up. Ricky Shabong. Ricky chips it for Vikram. Can he keep it? Yes, Vikram can control it. Jikson, Akash, Rahul Beke. It's a little better. I still like to say Vikram play as a fullback. I think that his position for the future is at a different attacking but from deep. He's not good in defending, Sasha. If you can get his defending better, maybe an option for him. Nikhil Pujari. That's a risk, for example, of playing a Nikhil Pujari, who's also used to be an attacking winger. India works its way through into the... Oh, who left that one? Edmund. Jikson. Jikson's got some space. Jikson taking a shot, but that goes wide. Exactly, Sasha. Who was the dummy for? Who did that dummy? Once more, let's see that build up. And McCarthan doing some runs, trying some stuff, but that's not looking good. McCarthan missed. McCarthan didn't touch it. McCarthan thought someone is behind him and that person will put the ball away. Yeah, sad to see. So as earlier mentioned in one of your live stream, Jikson for me is no more a centre back because Oscar wasn't found his position for him. That's why you see Jikson struggling to put through ball. Yeah, Shoham, good cross from Tajikistan, headed out by Sandesh for a throw in at the other end on the left. Important Sandesh from that cross from Kanomov. Actually, I have to agree. So again, Jikson seems to have slowed down on things. I think he'll pick up basic one on defending his knees already. Well played speed and endurance will give him out of trouble. Yeah, maybe Sasha. But he's sometimes a little too physical for me and loses the one-on-ones because he's not the best on his football. So that might be, a problem. Corner for Tajikistan. First corner of the game for the hosts. And Panchanbe to take it. A lot of pushing, shoving going on in the inbox, and the referee stops it. Saw it. Getting into the act. Referee wants none of it. Telling the players. Corner on the left for Tajikistan in the last minute of the first half. That's a good corner. Headed on. But over the goal. Was it the right back? Was it Kanonov? Thoughts of Ramali up front and Edmund as a 10-second striker. Yeah. I don't even know if Edmund, for me, with these kind of performances, actually deserves to be in the national team. Oppala. Vikram being pushed away. 1 minute of added time. Um, Ryan Williams comes to mind. Chante comes to mind. Even Brandon Fernandez comes to mind. When you're expecting a centre back minus the forward would then report out of the small box and not near the goal line, lack of basics. I'm not sure that's not, yeah, basics. As the worst player in this match. McCartan has not done too many things right, I would say. Is he the worst player? I don't know. Jackson is looking, Edmund is not looking good either. Ball into the danger zone. And Vikram can't keep the header on goal. And Karen Russell's have done not returning players in non FIFA window. Yeah, sure. It's not that simple. It's a lot about misdirection to the second line of attackers. Before don't stretch it open, there's no cutback space. And it is half time. Half time at the Talco Arena between Tajikistan and India. The hosts leading 1-0 against the Blue Tigers, who, yeah, have had a few chances here and there. But Tajikistan surely the better of the two teams and deservingly take that lead into the break. And they look more polished, more organized, more structured, but not too many chances coming their way in the first 45. But India once again conceding due to a first half penalty, this time a little early on than against Zimbabwe last Saturday. Bearing the city penalty evenly matched, I would say. Yeah, yeah. Do we have players from these two games? No, no, none of the Mohanbagan players or other players who have said that I'm injured, I'm out, have been called up. So we're missing Ryan Williams. Certainly, we're missing Ryan Williams. Parthiv Gogoi has come on. Parthiv Gogoi has joined India in Tajikistan. How was the first half? Aman, was Tajikistan the better of the two teams? No doubt to me. Um, we missed a little bit. Uh, you know, the punch, the way that we need to get, something out of this. And we did have some shots towards the end. To me, yeah, Edmonds header, which hit the crossbar. And then, of course, that um, Vikram setting up Akash Mishra and Akash moving to the bar and good cross. And then that Changte header, which didn't have the power that it needed. So let's see. Since Chetri played in an era where there was not a lot of social media, but just imagine if we were even have players close to Sunil, then the hype around would be crazy. No, Shom, the craziness was there. I think social media creates a sort of an unrealistic buzz, in my opinion. Yeah. So um, yeah, that's what I would say. I've seen Changte live enough in that second stretch. I kind of Wolverhampton City. I think he's better at wing. Rahim and Ryan Edmund could work. Wish Ryan was not injured for this game. Yeah, Rushabh, I was very unhappy not to be able to see Ryan Williams in action last Saturday. Rahim Ali needs to be there. That's the only striker that I feel has the physical attributes and the way to fight. And to me, that is something, let's see. I have been attacking midfield and forward myself. At this level, you can't expect such mistake. That is what the difference between India and the better footballing nations. Very true, Ochut. Very true on that. William Rahimali in second half. Let's see. Lost the will to even watch the game, but can't leave behind my falling comrades like this. So I decided to watch again. Thanks, Simon, for joining us. Not only you, but everyone who's watching. Please, thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Arunfoot here on YouTube and help me grow the family. We've grown over the last 2 days substantially by over 70 people. That's good to see. 4,439 is where we stand. If you haven't, do watch my video with Sean Hundal, and yeah, inspire it out, because Sean wants to play for India, is ready for the assignment, for the task. It's just that there needs to be a way to find for players like him to play for us. But that's, for me, that's the only way forward. If anyone is telling me the young players are going to take over and they will do better and this and that everything, then sorry, then I think we're living in some different world altogether, and that person doesn't know the realities of forget Indian football, but football in general. Rahim needs to be here. Yeah, Hannibal, it's quite crazy to think that we've come as far as to say, you know what, a player like Rahim Ali needs to be there. So let's wait and see. Things can go like this, can it? So it cannot, but who's going to change something? AIFF is not going to pull the plug. I didn't get a feeling from Kalyan on Saturday that Khalid is in any danger of any kind, that he might be replaced by someone XYZ, whoever it would be. As ever for me, yeah, therefore that question doesn't arise. Since you were at the stadium in UK, which player stood out for you? Ishan, I think there were the four players that have been mentioned in regard to mentality who stood out for me in certain form of way. Sandesh Jingan, I think, has to be at the forefront. Rahul Beke is part of that. Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, of course, solid whenever he was needed, and Changte as well, trying his things, very difficult, but I think, sorry, let me just quickly get up once. So therefore, those are some of the things that I saw on Saturday. I was disappointed with the youngsters, especially when you see the way sort of the warming up during the game. You know, all these small little things that you can see and pick up. Maybe I did not like watching them in a way, and it was disturbing to say the least. But that's the way it is, and something needs to happen, right? For me, that's the challenge for us to figure out what's going to change. But there's a mentality problem, and I've said this. I feel that a lot of these younger players are being influenced by social media. People are hyping them, making them, this, that, everything, and it's not helping the boys. It is not helping the boys. Let them play football. Let them be better players, and then we can have a conversation, right? But that's not happening. A lot of players are getting a lot of hype, and when you see the warm-ups, also that there are certain set of players who have issues, problems with basics, with football basics, and you're part of a national team. So therefore, that's also, or also watching after the game, that it was Gurpreet, it was Sandesh, it was Rahul, and it was Changte who actually went to the fans, took photos, took autographs. So those were the guys who also spoke to me at length. Um, you know, yeah, those are realities. So therefore, for me, if I'm, because of that, then I'm a supporter of the older players. Then I am. I'll take it. But I can say that these guys are giving it all for the team, which others are not. Right? There is that 1% where with a lot of players, where I would say there's this 1% which they could be, should be, need to be better, which they're not willing to spend. Right? So therefore, that's a huge problem at the moment. Jingan has saved us so many times. Frankly, one almost expects him to come with the last ditch tackle every time. Yeah, sure. Sandesh is a mentality monster, and whenever called on, he shows it. Said the thing you said, what you watched the young players training and they didn't show the desire. That's the thing I was talking at the start of lunch. Okay, strong. That's something which I feel. And then some people justify, they're not getting their daily allowance. Uh, these facilities are not the same as in the clubs. Yeah, it is this. A lot of national teams setups are not as good as those of clubs. Do you think that there are top players in Europe who go and play for their national teams? Do you think Mohamed Salah coming from Liverpool has the same facilities with the Egypt national team, or that the guys who play for Senegal, for Ivory Coast, for Cameroon, for Nigeria, they have it? No, they don't. Right? One of the Nigerian guys, we had a conversation the other day. He said, you guys have better facilities than us. Right? So a Nigerian guy is saying that. I was like, okay. So therefore, our players are spoiled. The ISL has even the IFL have spoiled. Let's see. Have you heard any positives of what the OCPO should? No, nothing. There are efforts on from the AIFF. Let's see. Yatin was a good goalie. He plays for Rostov. Yeah, Simon, he is on the cross. After Changte had some time to chest trap and smash the ball. Monok, maybe could have, maybe not. But again, you take a decision of what to do. In that situation, you decided to go in for a header and couldn't put pressure on power on it. Happens, right? I would sub McCartan and bring in Ali and put Edmund at number 10. Yeah, maybe that's your solution. So Vikram Pratap is playing well. He's always fought hard. Vikram is another one. Vikram is one of those who, since the under 16 days that I've seen him, has always fought for his life, for an India jersey. You know, let's see. The speed of play and internet players at that level is different. That includes Indian players too. Yeah. Simple things that work in youth football, like running to your favorite shooting spot, don't work at this level. Yeah, a lot. Most of the youngsters don't care about Indian national team, just want their ISA contracts. When India was losing, they didn't make any video post. When ISA was doing, everyone started posting stuff. So show him. I agree with your point of view now, but it is also the role of the clubs nationally to build a culture when they've never been taught. How can they know? Sasha, for me, why do I have to indoctrinate the players with this kind of thing? Right? I am a professional footballer. Even if you're an amateur footballer, if you ask players around the world, if you get a chance to play for a national team, you'll do everything for it, right? And this is something. Sadly, that part of the video is not there. Khalid, without naming players, actually called out players that some players don't want to be there in the national team, right? And some players are there who are not playing at the moment, who might not be, trying to give their best for the national team, and that's a worrying part. Very, very worrying in my opinion. Towards the end of half, some chances were created. Hope something good happen second half. Yeah, Prasenjit, at least some chances towards the end. Akash Ketam, Stante Edmund seem to be working as hard as possible for them. Edmund is not Manok. Edmund is to me, I don't know. I thought he was a little better further down the road of development, but also saw him on Saturday. That last 5 to 10%, if he did that, he would have scored on Saturday and maybe today as well. That's missing. All that money invested into so-called excellence center and well is nowhere near the levels expected. Simon, there is no center of excellence per se if you want to look at it per se. If you the center of excellence that the AFF has built or which exists in Kolkata is a grass pitch and an artificial turf pitch and some changing rooms. That it is not a building which is used as center of excellence. Right? So reality. Excellence Center that is building Kolkata is useless. India trained at Tajikistan Center and I can guarantee it's better than India's. Show him India's center doesn't have an excellence center in the sense. It just has two grounds and an unfinished building. I visited it last year. It's an unfinished building. So therefore, it it is not, it is call it a national training center, but don't call it a center of excellence. Anyone trying to sign abroad? Rishabh, I've not heard anything. Vikram, even his bad days, will never stop putting the effort if only we had such players in every single position. Exactly, Rishabh. I think that's something where Vikram might not be the best player, uh, you know. So yeah, that's the reality. Parthy reached the Tajikistan. Why it took so long for him when he knew that Ryan is injured, then quickly should have called Khalid and asked who he wants us to raise and quickly send him. Show him. I think there are two or three things. First, Khalid in India with England. He injured himself on Wednesday, last week, Wednesday, right? 27th. 28th, at some stage, they got the clarity what we're going to do. Then the question is, how quickly do you get a player sorted? How quickly do you get the visa sorted also? Right? I don't know. And in these things, the AFF is not the fastest, you know? Yeah. So, therefore, yeah, get there quickly, not quickly. Does it make a difference? I don't know. Johnson pointed out really good thing, the fact that these players don't have any contract right now and they have hundreds of things to worry about, and fans say, get them out. Yeah, again, Rushabh, my problem is that a lot of fans are saying a lot of things, even content creators, journalists, media. And I say, listen, guys, just be there and watch. You know, and and then observe certain things, which a lot of people are commenting without seeing things. And my learning has been in that the Indian national team is a very special setup, and you have to understand how to be either in it, be part of it, how we build it, and yeah, that's part of the problem. To me, that's part of the problem, that a lot of assumptions made and knowledge, this, that, everything, and again, a good performance in a league doesn't take you to the level needed to create something special. That's a big problem at the moment. We should give him a chance. Answer mastery, maybe should be, but again, Vipin is 30, no? Yeah, but yeah. So on. Let's see. No gameplay, just running. Yeah, we cannot be overprotective of players. Yes, they lack in basics, but they also don't give the 100% version. Have a habit of calling out the wrong players as fans. Simon, very well said. As the second half kicks off, India from left to right in our blue strip, Tajikistan as the hosts in their all white. So therefore, Tajikistan 1, India nil. And India 45 minutes to try and get something out of this game. And are we seeing any subs? Let's see. Both the teams don't seem to have made any substitutions. Sandesh clears his lines. Vikram is waste his runs with ball with no input. Yeah, Shwan, but at least he runs and gives an effort, which others don't give, right? That's the thing. From a different era, but Denep has always said, I'm lucky to be given a chance to observe. That's the level of commitment for the nation. This is complete pro sport. Yeah, Ochut, Leander Pace is a living legend with his commitment that he gave to India, right? What happened to Mahesh Naram Singh? Is he injured? He was injured, but I don't know. Think there is a reason, but why he's been called over the years. Yeah, Rishabh. Tajikistan steal the ball. India has to be careful. Ball played to the right, and Akash Mishra gets involved, clears it for a corner. He became the Kulusevski for national teams. So Simon, the cup was it to Ashish? What about you, sir? Simon, no. And this is again, it's too much of um, negativity by certain people. I think the first thing is good to see India back in Europe, back in the UK after 24 years, to give a chance to those Indian football fans who wanted to turn up and come to watch us play. Corner taken, ball into the danger area, headed on, but over the goal. So therefore, for me, um, that is the biggest positive. Fighting games from India, be it Jamaica, be it Zimbabwe, right? We have our deficiencies at the moment. We have to be honest about them. So that is something which I think. So therefore, for me, those would be the positives. And with a little bit of luck here and there, who knows? Maybe you know, against Zimbabwe, there was only one goal. It was a penalty. Um, Maybe we would have gotten something out of it. But for me, the more part was again exposure, seeing, and again for me it was seeing the realities. And I think you see that in these kind of conditions better than anything else. Center of Excellence, check out the US Soccer National Training Center in Atlanta. And soccer is not the most popular. Yeah, I see that. Look at the one, the old one in Clairefontaine, the old one in Spain, the new one in Germany or England. Then you see, fun enough, players being out of contract have been picked up by all these content creators, and all they were probably not even doing bare minimum research. Yeah. Do you see any current player called to play in a foreign league like Manisha Kalyan? No, honestly, no. Oh, Jikson, why don't you take a shot? Mistake from Tajikistan. Rahul Beke with the ball, but too close to the keeper. And people who don't even care about info having opinions how to improve in football. Yeah, but now is Rishabh, now is coming the time where this whole conversation, oh, this needs to happen, that needs to happen in Indian football, will happen because we are coming to the time of the World Cup. So therefore, for us, all these conversations will start again. Vaishnav is out of the season as he was injured. Yeah. We are playing in the days not far when we start losing teams like Sri Lanka. Let's see. So you must have very bad phase in football. Where do you keep this with? Overall, this is the worst phase in football. India steals the ball. Vikram, there's an Indian player down. To me, to me, um, the problem is at the moment, overall, what has happened, it's the worst ever situation we are in, at least in my days. All these La La Land people want us to go to final and lose in a hard fought game to lose something like that. Yeah, yeah. Versus Zimbabwe wearing the utter nonsense Farouk, we were matching Zimbabwe and created some decent chances like the McCarthy, but the second half we fell off. I don't think Simon we fell off. I think Simon second half we actually were better. So we got our better chances second half, but yeah. So what about the players don't have the right to say who want to play national team when clubs say no? I saw that this one super players making reels. Do you think with Sandesh Gopit agreed that? No. Oh, it's Tajikistan from the left. Being around in the Indian area. Header. Good save from Gopit Singh Sandhu. Shante was offside. Um, I don't think Gurpreet or Sandesh Beke would be told something like that. I think that there would be a conversation at least. Jackson knows he won't be dropped from the squad. This was is what I said. Yeah, I don't know, think. I don't think so either. What is your best 11 for India? Current best 11. Gurpreet in goal. Mm, Abhi Mitai as right back. Akash Mishra as left back. Anwar Ali Sandesh in defense. Apuya. Tajikistan with potentially a chance in just to block that. Good defensive work. All across. Um, Apuya. Apuya and most probably Thapa. Attacking positions Changte, Brandon, and Ryan Williams with Rahim Ali up front if all players are fit and available. Thanks, Narendra. The way we are moving, we're easily swimming next year Asian Cup cycle as well. Let's see, Sham. All too early. Yeah, offside again from India. India's best 11, playing 11. You're sure about it? Yeah. Best potential 11, let's call it that way. Sure. Ball back to the keeper. Plays it out. And Tajikistan. The player down. Tajikistan play on. Play it out to the left. They tries to steal the ball, can't do that. Tajikistan. Oh, Mahbat Shoaib and Sandesh Chingan with a Sandesh Chingan style clearance. And throw in for India. One thing for sure, we as fans need to readjust expectations. We often float up way above our level and don't, and this doesn't help the cause when we already are in desperate times. Yes, very well said. Very, very well said. Akash intercepts Changte. Was back on the left for the second half. Ball doesn't get through. In my opinion, it doesn't Don't have a perfect answer. No, we don't. Again, I'm saying Rahim Ali as my number nine, knowing that I needed actually someone who can get me the goals. Right, two chances a game and one goal. Who knows? Who is the best coach for Indian national team considering playing style and quality of our players? As far as someone who understands international football, mm, yeah. So therefore, for me, yeah, mostly someone that I'm not even thinking of at the moment. To be very honest, it's not the usual suspects. I would say. Said again like that Zimbabwe and Jamaica game, we lost this match in that one bad moment. Yeah, maybe sure. Let's wait and see. Tajikistan trying to work their way across on the right. The Tajiks into the danger area, but easy collection for Gurpreet Singh Sandhu with nearly 55 minutes on the clock. Long ball looking for McCarthy, but I can't physically do against that. Vikram clears. I kind of respect Stephen because he actually rebuilt the Indian football. Yeah, so he did massively. And that was thereafter destroyed by, yeah, a certain ego too much, as we know. Tajikistan, Kanrov was off, and Karo Tulzoda is on. No substitutions for India so far. Long ball forward. Will Changte get to it? No. But he wins the throw in. Karimov with cramps after 56 minutes. That should be a foul for India. Yeah. Vikram wins a free kick on the right. Like that. Keep it up, Vikram. Yeah. To do something decent at international level, you need the first 11 to have qualities of Gurpreet, Sandesh, Changte, 7, 8 of them. Otherwise, the same story will continue. Very true, Achut. Do you tell that Changte football guy to stop giving footage to Rushabh? I'm no one to tell anyone to, let everyone have their opinions. I'm fine with that. But again, a lot of people have opinions without knowing. And I've said this, maybe I shouldn't say it, but say it. A lot of people have a lot of opinions, but they don't know the things, right? Without knowing, Changte again across a free kick, which doesn't come well. Headed out. Free kick for India. Now for more from a central position, it was too much. How putting all blame on him and nothing. See, Sean, he destroyed the structure that Stephen created, and the AIFF doing or not doing things again. You can say, oh, this could be better, that could be better. Everything with the AIFF could be better, but that national team was a working team that Stephen handed him, and he destroyed it in 3-4 years with fake hype. Oh, that's Rahul, and that's a wasted shot. Stephen did something which only he and Horton could do. That needs to be the bench of any coach coming to national team. Yeah. What Stephen did, what Bob did, and I would add Sukhvinder Singh. Sukhi Paji also did some stuff which, look exceptional nowadays. Timestamp 58 or 5 or 6 or 7. Barrows loves listen teams that are trying with okay. Money given to us to how much of the story is true. I don't know, Shwam. This story has been going around for the last 4 years. Yeah, I've never had a confidential. Oh, that's a foul on McCarthy, and that should be a card. It is a card for the man who was brought down by McCarthy for the penalty, Panshabe, but sadly Panshabe doesn't bring down McCarthy. Sorry, it's not McCarthy, it is Vikram that he brings down. Vikram involved in a lot of things. India looking very strong 3-0 versus Oman. Interesting. Maybe Changte, McCarthan, back to Changte. Lalinzwala Changte! Ball over. Kuwait, impressive 2-2 versus Thailand. Yeah, sounds good result for them. They have a lot, I've noticed, because you worked with them, but the times have changed and also people in the hierarchy. Sure, I don't defend the AIFF and I've not worked with these people. I've advised them in the past or did some stuff in the past, but I know what the realities are. So therefore, I don't give fake hopes and realities. I know what Indian football realities are. And when I used to say that the right people are running the AIFF, even then um, people used to criticize it, right? When Kushal Das used to be criticized, people used to make fun of it. Um, yeah, that's the thing. Long ball. Changte can't get to it. Singapore narrowly losing to China 1-2, says Simon. Yeah. Ego didn't give enough chances to a Udanta who was creating buzz in all of Asia, and then he was never the same when he came back. Very true. And Tajikistan trying to build up, but they play the ball all the way back to their backline. Oh, Vikram. Could be a yellow card for Vikram Pratap for that foul. That's the thing, what I mean with Vikram moving into a more defensive position. Always that rash tackle, uncontrolled. Which opponent would you like India to play against? Just asking. There is, not a specific opponent that I would like India to play. I would love India to play maybe an European team next year at some stage. Right? 61 plus minutes on the clock. Tajikistan with a free kick from the left. Lalinzwala Changte is the one-man wall against their captain, Jalilov. Good cross, and that's the 2-0 for Tajikistan. Cross and header. And it looks like Karimov heads the ball in the 62nd minute for Tajikistan. A simple free kick, ball into the danger zone. And Nick Rubon Karimov just bangs it in. No chance for Sandesh, Rahul, and whoever else was around them. 2-0 for the Tajiks. Qatar sports passport model India adopted? No. I don't know who's saying that. This team will finish this from. When will next cycle start? March 2027. Um, yeah, depends on what the AFC does because there's no clarity how the AFC will play. It's competition. So therefore, for me, it's going to be second half of 2027, if you ask me. No one marking. Simon, the problem with the marking is he's coming from the behind, out jumps the others. Always difficult in these situations. Now, what YouTubers will they tell about sport? Yeah, but there is nothing about any sports passport or something because they've heard it. Oh, you know what? Qatar has given an Indian origin boy a sports passport. That's why that. Therefore, India needs to do it now. That's how the conversation started. Is AFF financially good enough to be able to sack Khalid now? No. Ball played out. Vikram gets to it. Vikram into the danger area. Headed out by the Tajik. Shot from Changte, but way over. It's too easy. I had to do better. Yeah. November 2020. I think second half, again, September, October window next year. Headed out by the Tajiks, and yeah, Changte wants it to get it past the man. And there's a Tajik player with problems with his legs. Unless AIFF has funds, they will continue with Khalid Indian coaching staff, and we will see similar forms if at all give Renedy a chance. Nah, won't happen. Yeah, I don't think Renedy would get a chance on the Kalyan. Still, you'd support India. Yeah, I did, right? Didn't I travel last week to London, short notice, to support the Indian national team? So I will always support the Indian national team. As good as bad they are. Wonder how Nations League will take place. Qualifiers barely enough space during qualifiers. So that's why I said, Rishabh, let's wait and see. Everyone's talking about the new cycle and this and that, everything. We don't know what the new cycle in Asia will be, because if the Nations League is installed, then it means that the qualifiers and the way they were held cannot be held anymore. So therefore, all of these things need to be thought about. Yeah, yeah, easily as they show the gale again. Yeah, you think the under-20s coach? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Mohammed, you mean, I think you mean Naushad Musa. No, I don't think it makes a difference. And looks like the goal scorer, Karimov in pain. Lord Farouk will come. Let's see, Aman with Lord Farouk. Massive respect, sir, for watching this torture for years and years. Now blood is coming out of my eyes watching this football. Yeah, so it's our national team. So you think the U23 coach is the best Indian coach? No, I don't. It would be fun if they integrate Nations League calculations in qualifiers like UEFA does. Yeah, would be. Some Indian content creators were in Budapest and London but didn't have time to watch India play, and those people will come back and keep commenting about Indian football. So, Ochut, I said that to certain people, even friends of mine. I said that to them. I said, guys, for you, it's very easy. You're in London, India's playing, and you're not going for the game. And Ochut, you will understand this is, for people like us, unacceptable. Tajikistan on that left wing. India has to be careful not to concede more in a very dangerous phase. Ball played out. A little overcooked. Yeah. Throw in for India. Akash. Waiting for his players to move in. Tajikistan cleared by India, but Khalid needs to think about fresh legs at the moment, because Tajikistan made most probably with the third. Panshanbe makes it 3-0 in the 67th minute. Too easy inside the Indian box. And as I said, India look a little tired, a little jaded to me. Red team in World Cup. Germany. My favorite team is Germany. And to answer an earlier question, where was that from? World Cup prediction is Spain, France, my top favorites, and then the usual suspects. The great YouTubers have told their viewers not to support the team because they don't win. Yeah, Hannibal, this is scandalous. Asked a friend who lives in London to go watch Inter. He didn't know anything about it. He didn't care. Yeah, Rushabh. But again, I always say that, if people are not blind, they would find out that these kind of things are happening. Honestly, sorry. In today's world with social media and other things, if you're not blind, even if you're in London, if you don't follow Indian football, you'd have found out. Substitution for India: McCarthan, Nikhil Pujari, and Changte are off, meaning Nikhil Barla, Farooq Chaudhuri, and are on. Very true. The only reason they don't watch football is because our national team doesn't win. Well, they're crying live on YouTube at 3 in the morning if their club loses. Yeah, very true, Sujal. There was a time we had to play the first round qualifiers versus Nepal. We're going back to those times, and that's totally fine. Yeah. What happened with the subs? Three players were waiting, but they went back and sat on the bench. No substitution happened. He's just dragging their feet. Seems lost. Yeah, Uchud Khalid should be sacked after this. Yeah. No, it Kansas second match. They're having a field day. Nah, Simon. Well, they will have the second game as well and play maybe their B team players. Farooq Chaudhuri, Mohammad Sanan, Akash. Interview with Chance got highest views in many months in your channel. It's some more into Arjun Danny lecturing, etc. is also the keyword for views in Indian football. Thanks, Indian investor. Yeah, we again it was something that we spoke about and spontaneously Shan said he's ready for an interview and we did it quickly. So yeah, try to speak to the others as well. They are weak and don't know how to play football at all. Yeah. Changte, yes. Nasi, this is what I was saying, waiting for the back center near the penalty spot and scored. Yeah. Free kick for India on the left. Okay, Khalid is in league of its own. Sustainable Shillong will beat the national team by 20 nil. I don't think so. There where you are overestimating the level of Shillong Lajong. Ashley Westwood should come to Indian team. Kerala was bad team. Ashley Westwood came to Kerala versus Ashley Westwood. No matches your opinion who's better in the team. Yeah, Ashley Westwood. I don't know if Ashley Westwood is your wonder coach. Look at the results. Yes, he did beat India. What kind of India? What did he achieve with Hong Kong? What did he achieve with Afghanistan? What did he achieve with Punjab? See, that's a free kick from Farooq Chaudhary. So therefore, I don't know. And I've said the statements, the way he makes it is derogatory, and it's not fitting for someone to speak in that way about a colleague. So yeah, one for later and shame for no reason. I don't watch info now is because India never got good players. Yeah, but again, these kind of things, make me really question you rather than Indian football. Right? People like you say, oh, you know what? Because when you play good football, Farooq Chaudhary plays it out to Vikram, crosses it in for Farooq, cleared. Farooq Chaudhary with a foul. Do you think Arasa Indian football team should be banned? And I'm furious right now. Just ban this team, just ban the league, and just say they play anywhere, but just not football. Well, that's exact. I understand your feelings, and it's hard to accept the reality of our lack of quality, um, and then add to it the national team setup, the coach, and all of that, AIFF, whatever, and then this hyping of players and all, and yeah, we have a quality issue. We don't want to discuss it. We don't want to discuss mentality as well. There are a lot of players who are passengers on this trip, who, especially the younger ones that people want, they're just not good enough. And that's the problem. That's your real problem. Right? India clearing their lines. All played out. Tajikistan are just quicker, are more agile. And Ralbeke clears it for a throw in. Wants a throw in for India. I think the way to play with any team is direct. When you have the chance, press and counter press. We don't have the players for anything else. Yeah, Sasha, very simply said. But for that, we need to have that solidity at the back, in the middle, and we don't have that. Right, this team is all over the place, and the structure to me is not there. The structure, the organization is not there. That's the problem that I see with this team at this moment. Big players on GPS metrics in game time, since we will never find sound technical players. Again, that is a Sasha, you're a coach yourself, so I don't want to be the one who said, "Hey, listen, I want to, educate and tell you." But a national team, there needs to be something more. You need to understand if a player is ready to play for a national team. Does he want to give something for the country? Is he ready for it? And your metrics are, again, as per your metrics, there would be players in there who I would never even consider to call. And therefore, I think even some of the others, sorry, if I be arrogant enough, you know what? I don't need to be a coach. The understanding of what a national team and what kind of players you want and need, um, yeah, is more important than the tactics or anything. Bala won't be able to keep that in. This tendency of giving silly fouls all over the park, long-standing football turns serious international matches. Yeah, very, very true. Very, very true. And I remember Bob Houghton used to speak about a player who used to be in those days one of the best players in the I League, and he never called up that player. And I said, "Why do you call a player?" I said, "Listen, that guy commits a foul in the first 15 minutes, starts up, would catch a yellow card, and then he's a liability for the rest of the game." These third-class players don't know. Just came after league. Wanted to play, but you want to play because you don't have quality to play in some lower league. You're just okay. Zigzag. I think India should invest more with higher rank courts than involved in Premier League. Yeah, but that's not happening. Seeing self-destruction right in front of our eyes is depressing, knowing that we're limited to a keyboard on a social media platform. Yeah, Simon. Shaman Khalid, these headless chickens are just, yes, we want to play football. You want, because you don't have money. Yeah. And the Stephen, we want fair play awards. Yeah, Simon, that's also true. And and I remember someone told me, oh, you know what, the players this, the players that, and yeah, we were different quality. And at the moment, um, disappointing, really disappointing to see what we're playing at this moment. Shocking, disappointing, and shocking to say the least. As Tajikistan is making one substitution after another. 76 minutes on the clock, and Tajikistan easily leading 3-0 against India. It's a one-sided game, or some none of us did it. But it reminds us. I understand zigzag. Very difficult sometimes to keep control when you see this non-performance, and that's the problem. That's the quality we have, and um, you know, when the coach is also not capable of getting that extra out of the players, it's an added problem on top, right? And Tajikistan is just doing the basics right. And you see, look at the football that they're playing, simple crosses, simple technique, simple tactical stuff, nothing extraordinary, nothing extraordinary. So just get up once, nothing extraordinary. That's the disturbing thing to me is like, okay, are we just not good enough? And that's at the moment, it's not even a question to me. It's just a proof, a living proof that we're just not good enough at the moment, given the quality, lack of quality that we have. And it worries me. It shames me on one side, because on last Saturday we weren't as bad as we are at this moment. So that's against Zimbabwe we are at least fighting, and Zimbabwe didn't dismantle us. But today we're all over the park, and we're getting nowhere with this, and that is something which is yeah, very disturbing to say the least, right? And that's a problem. That was a problem. Is a problem, and therefore yeah, quality is an issue, and we need to wake up to those realities that we have a quality issue all over the place. And And if this is bad, you want to put in the younger players, it's going to be a disaster. Yeah, Siddharth, do you see any player having built up with pressure handling? No. The usual suspects have, but again, we defensive midfield is simple as that. Oh, the keeper punches the ball sideways. The goal, no, someone scored. There is a concept called first wave, second wave. The first wave is forward to attack first, open the penalty spot for the second wave of attacks. Sasha Khalid. Only way to stop is that the midfield has to close the cut back space. Sasha, our midfield is non-existent. Ricky Shabong, Jeekson, and now Farooq Chaudhuri midfield, not working. Long throw in from Rahul. India can't get it. Look at these Tajik boys. The crosses are world class, but their 1-2 passing and coordination is in touches. It's just amazing. Yeah, as I said, the basics. My dream is to for India to be in the World Cup is gone. We can't even beat. Yeah, but it, we were never going to go to the World Cup. We've never been really close to World Cup, and that's a sad reality. They're ranked lower than us. No, as far as I know, one second. Tajikistan is um, ranked around us. I think at the moment. One second. Tajikistan national team ranking. No, sorry, much higher. 103. Wow, sorry. Long ball and pray for God. Yeah, it is. Vikram wins the ball. Oh, the cheeks. Oh, that's a foul from Jackson. Yeah, the opponent much superior to us. And just realized, I thought Tajikistan is ranked around us. They're ranked 103. Their highest was 99 and their lowest 180th. But wow. Okay. So then, yeah, then that explains Tajikistan is way above us. Subbing in a keeper, you ask for a change. Okay. Albino Gomes coming on. Just this is 77 under 20 under 20 the main team. Just play same game plan. Just one touch coordination. First touch is amazing. That's they're playing. Yeah. Rahul Beke coming off. And Sandesh Chingan with Paramveer and Bijay Varghese. Tajikistan have planned. Tajikistan have developed players over the years. The U teams have played World Cups, different level. See, I understand if it's country not financially well off, but there's 1% that will sack Khalid. No. Again, I don't see that, but maybe I'm wrong. If I'm going with Santo, I'm not fuming. Why? Sasha, why? He's taken off his three best players, right? To give game time to Albino. Albino, I think, debut, if I'm not wrong. Bijay Varghese and Paramveer. Let's see. Can't go bonkers. Let's see what happens now. Ball to the back line. Ricky Shabong. Do you rate Changte? Yes, I do rate Changte. Leave this game aside. Any good news in football? This is a crucial question. Abhishek, no. Nothing. With a clearance. Headed on. Vikram charging out. Cleared by Tajikistan. Cleared by Bijay Varghese. Why change the keeper though? Let him see out the game. It hasn't been disastrous, and let Albino play the next game and go shake your player's hands when he comes off. Jackson comes off. Tajikistan. You have to be careful. I don't know if Jackson went off and Parthiv Gogoi came on. Okay, that would be interesting. Then fit per quota for Nikhil and Albino and Muslim quota for Farooq affirmative action. Let's see. Also, just one question to anyone caring what the camping with the informal players squad to any account for 7 and 20 under 23 main team performance and quality of players, production, do anybody have accountability? No. It's like if you're asking me that question, direct question, I would say no. This is the culture building I was talking about. We have a rule in teams. I coach is written down at the start of every year that you your teammates and coach every day. Yeah, Sasha. You know what? I these are rules again. Having played in teams, I know some of the players don't want to do it, and if you're being forced into these things, you say you create a culture. Is it really creating a culture? No, it's just it has to come from within. I think we need more strong and good dribbling striker and fast moving defender for India team. Yeah, we need both players in all positions. Guten Abend, sir. Welcome back. Done and dusted. I'm out. Would like to hear commentary instead. Yeah, cleared by Ricky Shabong. We will win this match. Don't worry, says Hannibal. Is the photos are clear on X? So you shaking hands with Kalyan? Yeah. So I shook hands with Kalyan. Why wouldn't I shake hands with Kalyan? Again, I know Kalyan Chope for 25, 26 years. He came to me, asked me how am I, how my family. Why should I not shake his hand? Again, what is the problem with that? This the Lulu fan culture needs to really, people need to grow up. Tajikistan playing it out. I realized when players are not physically strong. I've been watching the team many years. The main problem, maybe the reason to that it's not diet. Jack Kajimil says it's creating a winning culture. It's proven that teams that go five and shake hands and make physical contact have higher winning percentages. Okay, that's new to me. Even Trump shook hand with Mandani at the White House. Yeah, enough, sir. If you don't help my team to win, I will not train any of them. You want to just okay. On go for Mr. Chow, Mr. Satya, and one only Khalid Jamil. Yeah, ball out to the wing. Tajikistan looking for a fourth, but Albino has the ball. Free kick for India. Yeah, Ramacho Ramatsoda with the foul. Beckenbauer looking at the long ball like he was watching foul show. Okay, Khalid Jamil is the best goal of FIFA. This season should be placed beside Pep Guardiola, Marcelo Bielsa, Luis Enrique, and should have a statue in front of FIFA headquarters, says Kumar. People started criticizing Raul Beke. He's literally the best of Indian as that's the level of Indian football. So, Rama, that's the problem. That's the problem that we have, right? Right. And my question to those, and I know some of you supported Khalid Jamil becoming the coach, right? Some of you said after around Kafa, oh, brilliant, great. You won't get this, right? So, welcome to that world. Free kick, 89th minute now, Farooq Chaudhuri. And that's a goal for India. Farooq Chaudhuri makes it 3-1 from a free kick. And if I'm right, Farooq Chaudhary is even captain. Farooq Chaudhary scoring of all people, of all players, a goal for India. Yeah. It's never plays, not just it's just the truth. Yeah. If shaking hands is an offense, then why we say professional handshakes? So, Simon, I'm not saying it's a handshake is an offense. Sometimes I know of players who, when they're not happy with things and this and that, everything, they don't want to get into all of this. That is what I'm saying. Handshakes are such a good. Vikram wins the ball. Too much of weight. All I want is a new coach from Europe. They're not happening. You mentioned old players were needed Unity Cup for experience, but said this is random friendly, so we need them. We can't remove them, but a mix of youth and senior next Asia Cup starts quarterfinal. Okay, we've got two friendlies, and let's see what Khalid does in the second game if he changes his team or not. But Khalid is someone, again, knowing him for so long, he doesn't make that changes. He keeps it as it is. Name of witness of national league problems. Says Kumar, Farooq, you gotta be kidding. Yeah, Simon, it was Farooq would say if you don't know, like just make sure that your defense will not shatter like this. Exactly. The point is when an opponent has better quality, you will not be able we are not good enough to keep a clean sheet against better opponents. Right? That's the whole point. Right? India attacking on the left, getting it into the box. Oh, Farooq Chaudhuri leaves it for Ricky Shabong, puts it wide, 3 minutes of added time. Do you feel if the player come from one big club, for example, when most of the players were from BFC, we actually played better in the national team, like Movas played for Spain? No, Jordan. I don't think that's, it can be, it doesn't have to be. But again, BFC in those days were a better team also than what captain. Yeah, anyway, he's wearing the captain's arm. FIFA World Cup. Let's go, says Sasha, and he's oh my captain, my captain. Wow, yeah. Was Khalid's mission to make a Muslim captain of Indian national team, says Hannibal. I don't know if that's the thing. I did say I was trying to point out the tantrums of Indian football fans. Yeah, Simon, the problem is that the Indian football fan knows better than anybody else about football. But it's a fan thing around the world. And if you don't know how things run and operate, if you don't see things again, watching television, you can watch all footage that you want. If you don't watch things live, in and around a team, understand, especially a national team works differently than a club side. Yeah, should you know? And let's see. Our national team should play friendly match against teams like Qatar, China, Qatar, Iran, Japan, Saudi Arabia instead of South Asia. Mate, they don't want to play us. So, so, so if we want to play, it's nice. But if they don't want to play us, we're not going to get there. Okay, I'm done with racism and castle comments. Well, yeah, I don't know where we score. Onumitra, free kick, Farooq Chaudhuri scoring. And Tajikistan playing it amongst themselves. And they're just able to outplay 3, 4 players quickly. Tajikistan, we're in the last minute. They're on the edge of the box. Ball with Albino. To think that Farooq scoring the lone goal for this window is just. Didn't he do that last year, November also? No, was it November last year, right? The way he scored? Where's the midfield player from Mumbai City? Sasha, he was injured, if I remember right. So therefore, he didn't play the final matches of Mumbai City. Puya was playing. And that's the final whistle. Yes, the Farooq more than like Lord Farooq says, Simon. Tajikistan beat India 3-1 in a friendly and at the Talco Arena. And we see the Tajik fans celebrating. Let me quickly put out a tweet and then get back to you. 1 second. just put out the tweet and I will be back immediately. Sorry. Is it pressing to watch this game under this coach? Understand players removed from this team. I'm not watching any more national team matches. They will. It's not about the players. Again, and I've said this and I say this again. And if you see coaches in the ISL, if you see coaches in and around Indian football, um, why are they always banking on the experienced players? Right? Um, so therefore, you want players removed. Again, get the other ones who you want to come in to be better to force the coach to remove them. We're not in that situation. The younger ones, if you had seen in London the way that they're warming up, they're warming, doing this and everything, they don't deserve to put on an India shirt. Put Baichung Bhutia in it, right? He knows what it is worth. In October against Vietnam. Yeah, no, yeah, October. Sorry, yeah. Thanks, Rushabh. That was Farooq Chaudhry's goal. No, so was okay. 1-1. Was yeah. There's a new experience version of AIFF is talking about how to make a special passport. So, however, there's talk. Nothing of that talk is happening. I encourage the fans must have couple as a championship team. This players don't deserve to support system. Yeah. Of course, we lost now. All the Farouk hate will be transferred to Rahul Beke, says Hannibal. I mean, I really fail to understand where and how the national team meant to collapse this bad. I mean, even 4 years back, we were not this bad. On a Mitra, 4 years back, we weren't as good. And that's your problem. But we had, amongst our occasions, Sunil scored a lot of goals for us to ensure that we did overcome situations where we might have lost games, but Sunil was there to save us. And we had to, this quota thing is incredibly stupid, and they got to directly bench Farooq and Rahim tonight and didn't play Sanan, says Rushabh. Yeah, 3-1 is the ratio. He plays size to 30, plays size 1 up score lines. Okay. No skateboard only. What quota thing? I can't. It's always had one coach, quota player, Stephen Hatson, plus Igor at Rahim, Ali Wal, Khalid has Farooq Chaudhry. So, however, Khalid has had different ones. He would said earlier Danish Farouk. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Oh, now, what do you make of the perform players and coach? What do you expect the next match? More of the same, something different? Anupam, in the next match, I want Khalid to maybe make a few changes because in 4 days, another match, same opponent. I think Tajikistan will try a few things, so maybe that's a chance for us. What do you expect from the coach? I don't expect anything from coach. We are getting what we were supposed to get the second we appointed Khalid. So therefore, I live with it. So yeah, it's fine. Um, yeah, physical. Please do the physical protest. Don't just write these hashtags and do online protest and this and that and everything. Right? But there's no. It's happening. Yeah, some of the players, some set of players don't deserve to be starting their national team ASIC clubs. Who you play is not enough pool of players to choose from. Will any coach make a difference? Standards too low. SB Sports Extremes, I think, with the right coach, with some adjustments, you'll at least not play as bad as we're playing at the moment, right? It's not about the player. I think we lack in strategic. No, it is about the coach as well. Mr. Shajmola, they've suddenly so into social media, they couldn't get their words out when they were actually in the setup. Yeah, Simon, that's the reality. Madhu Ashwini did support Khalid's appointment. Rushabh, again, and those are the people that you need to question. I look at my videos. I said at the time, I don't think Khalid Jamil is the right choice. I said it. Knowing the way that Khalid operates at clubs, does this, does that, he will not change. He will not change, period. We are in this mess. Why? Because Khalid Jamil is playing Khalid Jamil football, right? So I'll just get up quickly one. Khalid Jamil is playing Khalid Jamil football, and that is surprising to a lot of people. And that is the weird one where I say, it's like, why are you surprised? When Khalid Jamil has been playing since his first day at Mumbai FC, right, in the I League, because he owned Mumbai FC at the time, in 2009, if I'm not wrong, um, when he uh, replaced David Booth. Then he's been playing defensive football since then, right? Ultra defensive football. Haram ball, as some of you call it, destructive football. And even players who can play football suddenly are put into form as you have to play defensive. And what's the tactics? When you have the ball at the back, punt it out. When you have throw ins, corners, free kicks. That's our chances. How did we score today? We scored off a free kick. So these are the realities of our game. And if we like it or not, that's the reality. That's the reality of the quality of what we have. And if you take out the senior players, the quality drops even further. And we're not going to get out of that rabbit hole because there is a lack of dedication. That is something which I think is coming out more and more from a lot of players who've been spoiled by the system, right? And that is something which then the system needs to be asked, but nobody will ask the system, right? We are in this situation, but nobody will ask the system, like, hey, how do we change? What do we change? What do we need to change? As usual, since World Cup starting, Indian media started questioning why India is playing this FIFA World Cup. So that's bound to happen. Do you think the coach will change? No. Needing a performance of Farouk was so underwhelming, but this free kick was great. Confused on him, he sometimes shocks everyone. Otherwise, just flop. I know. Yeah, good goal, no doubt. But Unity Cup in two full matches um, should have never played. I never wants to say Khalid and I knew one. No, actually not. There's Zenman about in coaching the national teams. I'm doing well with limited resources. Obviously, Haram ball. Look at whatever Haram ball we're playing. That's not Haram ball. Yeah, Simon. Those tactics work in a long season, but when you need tailor-made plans for national football, it doesn't work. Yeah, teams so cooked that out of everything that happened in the game, that through ball from McCarthy Pachang that gave me the most sparks. Senior midfield pulling through balls. Yeah, and maybe Farooq Chaudhuri scoring a goal. So, so, so those are the scary parts of our existence at the moment, right? And that's the problem. That's the problem where we stand at this moment in time as we speak. Steve Weber, no, Rishabh, he's now the coach of Rwanda. Ashish did change his take on Carl and quickly called him a tournament suited coach. Simon, again, you can change opinions, but this was a given thing that you don't need to change opinion. Um, you know, quick to point out him. Now some people will come and say, "Oh, look, as soon as seniors went off, we scored." Sometimes yeah, which tournament? Yeah, that's the problem, guys. That's the problem we have. You know, that we need to be clearer on certain things, and at this moment in time, it is just disappointing to see where we stand, right? So, yeah, what to say? The less I say, um, very difficult. Khalid will succeed national team. He only needs Eze Kingsley and his national team. Stephen Eze, and Javier Hernandez. Yeah. We haven't qualified for any tournament in a long while. Yeah, Sasha, that's also true. India needs someone who has international experience. Lack of international experience. Our coach is also in the aspect. I don't know if that's a thing, and also to how to deal with the players, treat the players. I think those are a lot of things that need to be sort of looked at as well. And yeah, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. We talk about it again and again and again and again, and things don't change. And again, who thought that things would go? Yeah, you know, and so that's the thing as well. Archie even said, let Noshat take over with Unity if this happens we quickly to point out the shortcomings as the first game ends. Rushabh, it sounds so easy. Let the younger players come in, this and that. Around the world, younger players are pushing out senior players. Why? Because of quality. The younger players are better quality. Simple. Here, um, we have a lack of quality across the level, right? To me, McCarthan, besides Ayush Chetri, are the two players who I thought, you know what, they could be good quality long term replacements, you know? Um, and so therefore, yeah. So therefore, for me, that's the problem. And that quality drop, if you don't have an Apuya, if you don't have an Anirudh Thapa, if you don't have a Suresh, why is Suresh not here? Um, what did Roshan do? Right? So very big problems. You can clearly see the hype surrounding down the moment India stepped on the pitch at Charlton. Now, Farooq out chance. Yeah. So better ban the national team for playing matches altogether. Yeah, whatever. That's those kind of ban, boycott, always use this. Changte doesn't look like the same anymore. I don't know. For him, also, yeah, too much. Khalid out. Farooq has got in mind of this one. Actually, Khalid out, sorry. Even if you bring a quality for what about the players, like you said, the new coach also wants to play with these players because the best card now in India, and here is the, yeah, Timo, that's your problem, right? If someone's then, you want to replace players, whoever new comes in will again look at the core that Manolo was sorry that Igor Stimac was picking, that Manolo picked, and then Khalid picked. The core is still the same. So yeah, is it what it is? We're not the first, not the only losing team in the world of football. Yeah, but Sasha, the way we're losing it, as usual, game players were running this big one decent goal from Carl. It should have been 2-1, but penalty giving is India. But Charlotte, to me, 3-1 is a fair result. Why is Rishabh so cross with She's a great journalist. I feel in the football, all his opinions are his own. No one has to believe just because he says it. So, Joel, again, opinions are there, but Ashish has been pushing certain agendas, I feel, and I'll talk to him about it as well at the right time. But I feel it has not helped because people follow and listen to him. I'm seeing a lot of comments that see in my timeline, which is sort of copy paste of what he said. And it's not helping. So maybe sometimes just not saying something might be better than anything, right? I see that as an example. Opinions about the um, Unity card. Utterly useless. Utterly useless comments. At first, seeing Ashley's statement, I was puzzled. Why would he say that in open? Then I saw Johnson reminding Khalid has been pain the for Ashley. Yeah, Rishabh, listen. BFC never defeated Mumbai FC. Um, he was running for the Indian national team job. He was running for the Jamshedpur FC job, and yeah. And to me, I've worked with Ashley during the 2014 World Cup as an expert on a channel. Great guy, good ideas, good knowledge. But this is what he did here, and this is not a new. This has actually been around for 3 months, and now suddenly it's popping up. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's backstabbing, and some of the way that he says it to me sounds racist, which I find in very poor taste. And since the World Cup is near, some Ghanaian individuals are asking why FIFA isn't doing football in India. I see FIFA has already done all it can for mediocre nations to be competitive. Yeah, very true. So I'm going to call it in that order. Yeah, he's a good journalist, yes, but he ain't an expert of something and understands something are totally two different things. And that's the problem. That's Rishabh, you've understood it. You said you have chunked in that Viking trial, right? Yes, it was my idea, and my friend Krish was still based in Stavanger. Through his contracts at Viking Stavanger, enabled Changte the trial, which he successfully completed, but in the end went to Chennai SC. He has recently asked fans not to blindly follow his takes. We as fans have a habit of intermixing opinions with self-introspection. We never have our opinions as someone else's. Yeah, Simon, that's harsh. Thank you. His course is something that for someone who has probably never played sport. Yeah. Yeah. That's the problem, Sasha. He stated to having beef with Khalid back in the I League days. Yeah, but Simon, again, you can have beef, but the way he said those things, that Khalid is not the best coach. I think even mostly Khalid himself knows that. Khalid Jamil, for what was a good player in his days, but Khalid Jamil as a coach has achieved everything that he could as an Indian coach. He's achieved more than anyone else from his generation, right? So, but that he has his shortfalls, that he plays in a certain way, yeah, it's been always there. And he will not change. He's that thick-headed. Um, you know, Englishmen being not racist, that's a normal thing. Yeah. When Ashley left BC, I was hoping he would coach in Iceland. If I remember correctly, his interest well, it didn't work. Rishabh is expelled at 80K didn't well, and he was a failure at Round Glass Punjab as well. If you speak at people at Round Glass Punjab in the I League days, they will not say too many good things about Ashley. So therefore, that's the thing, right? So there are certain realities that you or I might not like. I do follow Ashish, and I'm always excited for his weekly show to know what's happening around info. But that when people leave his opinions without using their thinking is also most people problem. So no, it is, but there's some information which is being passed around by him also, which are being sold as facts because he's heard it from XYZ or someone has told him that. I find that also very dangerous, especially things around the national team. I think a lot of wrong information has been passed around. England men guess they won't. I like your point of view. Maybe it has a darker tone in it. Simon, it has a darker tone because I live in the reality, right? And the difference between me and all of these guys were there, you know, be the so-called journalists, be the so-called content creators. I have done it and seen it myself. I'm not talking from an outside world, right? And huh? That's the reality, right? So therefore, if I have an opinion about the national team, I'm not having an opinion about as a fan, as a journalist, as an expert, as a content creator. I'm someone who's invested into that team as a fan, yes. But on the other side, I'm invested into it because I've worked with it. I've known this team from the inside out. So therefore, for me, those things are very, very crucial to remember when we talk about the national team, right? So for me, um, that's a challenge. Was the challenge, is the challenge, will be the challenge. I think Ashish said in one of the scenes that he was the one who got Changte the trial to sort out. Next time you have to chat with him. He never got the Changte trial. He did the trial for Brandon Fernandez. So Changte trial asked Changte. They said John Johnson vanished from the earth after his round glass Punjab stint. He was assigned body along with Juanan throughout BFC's golden period. Yeah, yeah, he was that, and then of course went to 80K and it didn't work out. And then yeah, and then slowly phased out. Very, very sad. Right. 2 hours and 9 minutes. Our team is like striker, don't seem striker. Defender can go for this role of striker because no one look like they fit for any position. Where's Sunday striker? Put Sunday striker. Chance the different result will be same. Fan club. I don't know where you're getting this idea, but that makes no sense. The issue is that as Indians, we love sensationalism. Hence, they have so many followers because it's easy to get swap up in the exaggeration. Yeah. You said about Brandon. Yes, yes, that's what it is. Never done the Changte thing has always been something that I did with my friends, and yeah, it was not easy. It was tough, but but we got to it, right? So therefore, that's the thing. I was sending Brand to Lithuania and stuff. Yeah, Lithuania, and then wanted to go for trials in Norway. But then I had Changte. Yeah, 2 hours and 10 minutes and done. Slowly we'll come to an end, guys. Wait, let me see. There's also someone who's also so these days about info. You could know from the questions you was asking to Ashley that you wanted some trash talk from Ashley. Yeah, but Sujal, sorry, who's Joe Morrison, right? Joe Morrison says the stuff about me without knowing me. So therefore, these people are all, right? What have they done for you? For wow, you were a television presenter on Indian TV and you were a good television presenter, nothing more, nothing less. Does a television presenter have to have opinion about Indian football without knowing Indian football? My question. So we have a lot of people who have opinions on Indian football, who can have their opinions. Everyone can voice it, and people are listening to it. But hey, you don't have any skin in the game, except that you're harming the game rather than helping. There are a lot of these. Let's call them out. I call them parasites. A lot of parasites who live off Indian football, despite Indian football actually not having anything. Right? Indian football is a dead animal, and people are literally living off it. Well, that's the problem. That's my problem, and that's why it's difficult, right? And I say what I say, maybe sometimes a little too tough, a little bit too hard, but hey, that's me. That's me, and I will always fight for players, you know. And yeah, that's the reality, right? So therefore, yeah, I said Brandon didn't live up to expectations. That's it. Yeah. Again, when you put an Indian player in, you need the club to say, um, so what to say? Teso and non-trained school team playing in FIFA international football match. Yeah, maybe you did. More like vultures eating corpses. I didn't want to go that far, but maybe Simon, that's the other problem. There are a lot of people who are saying things for again, and you need to question these people and need to question their agendas because I for example watching live, India play against Zimbabwe. This whole Rahul Beke. If you watch 90 minutes plus of football and you would keep your opinion about Rahul Beke that people what the way they've been saying, then I have to say, listen, you don't understand football, right? So you do believe Indian football is dead? No, Zorawar. If Indian football was dead, I wouldn't be talking to you at this stage. If Indian football, for me, in my opinion, was dead, we wouldn't be having this conversation now at this very moment. I would have said, let's leave it, right? I'll be gone. But for me, I will fight as long as I can. Brandon was only center attack midfielder generation, one of a kind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just like Eugenson was a little earlier, so it didn't overlap really. Eugenson is a little older, and yeah. What questions you've asked while you met Colin Chaudhuri in England? Shomo, we spoke about a few things, and and I also know what to put out into a public domain and what not, and I'd rather not speak about certain things and hope Kalyan acts on those things. What do you think is wrong with the national? I watched him play against Iraq, Indonesia, Lebanon. Rachid, first of all, Lebanon, Kuwait, SAF, right? Were we that good? Iraq, friendly. Yeah, we looked great. J- It's the coach. Let's see. Eugene was top, but then you also had the Lingard development pattern. No, I don't think so. Sasha, I don't think so. I think he did a lot out of his talent. One has to always remember that he went off to study and all of that, and then later on really became a pro. And I think he did the most out of it. And an intelligent footballer. I always admired Beke. His sheer lack of pace is made fun of, but he's the second best to Chetri when it comes to late bloomers. Very true. Very, very true. Do you think there will be coach change after this Tajikistan matches? Sachin, there should be, but I don't think there will be. We actually got a better revision on us or Adil in Beke, in my opinion. In replacement than of Anas or Adil. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Some very true. Our midfield has made up to be better coaches in general. No, I don't think so. It depends, right? Biggest mistakes was to make all over social media. It takes guts to get back to the pitch and do better. Don't think any youth in system will handle some amount of pressure. Listen, Sujal, the fun one is they put all the mistakes together. I would have rather said, hey, put out the parts where Rahul is actually making last ditch saves for India. That we won't do, no. Therefore, again, also some people said, oh, why am I not defending? I have to say, respect Joe equally. I think by asking difficulties, he's trying to root out the crap that exists in football, and that's a lot of things that needs to root out. No, I don't. Again, Sasha, then again, you have a different opinion. There are agendas behind it, I feel. And again, if you have respect, please do, but I don't. These people are, again, part of the problem, not part of the solution. I don't know. I clearly say that. I nowadays clearly tell people either you're part of the solution or you're not. It was 50-50, good, bad, but we only highlight the negatives. Simon, if you look at, I would say it's not even 50-50, I would say 70-30, and it was positive in my opinion. Not every opinion is spot on. That's also part of the process, personal opinion. Sasha, again, justification cannot be these people are the way they are. So there's no point of justifying. Guys, you will find India's Yamma soon. Yeah, Naruto, you'll find a lot. Wine is lacking physically. Or it's not lacking physically. We're just not good enough. Our football basics are not good enough. If a football player cannot handle pressure, don't play football. If Indian players are like this, just think about what Italian players are going through. They're brought up, uh, you know, so therefore that comparison doesn't work for me. Joe, according to me, is that guy that has based his career on the fact that, oh, look, I'm a white guy covering Indian football. Mm. This India making to Safan and Zava. Let's see what the groupings are. I don't even know if it's 6 nation, 8 nations, what the format is. So this is also what you guys need to learn is like ask the right question at the right time. Right? Makes no sense. It's like at the start, oh, you know what? What is going to happen with the ISL? What's this? What's that? Anyone who tells you he knows, or he says, oh, you know what? In the next 10 days, everything will be sorted. We hope so. And let's see. Nothing as such. Supposedly, I think in at the World Cup or post the World Cup, there will be a draw of the groups. I think that Unfair works quite closely with some Indian players, so he's also helping them. He's not Sasha. Again, he's worked with one and nothing more, nothing less. Again, right? Eggs, chicken, fish, Jim Caribbean has everything. African dish has nothing gets ahead of us. And that's, yeah. Could Sacha at least is interested in Jimmy tactics if he has one? That's the point. Sure. So, Simon, and I'll end with that. Thanks a lot for joining in. And, you know, you look depressed, your tone of voice and the same. So, now watching this today is bad. I thought Saturday we fought at least. Today is bad. Your question, the Norwegian lad from Canada's better. Okay. Ciao, Sasha. Disappointing because yeah, this was bad today. 3-1. We have to live with it, and I'll be back hoping that in the coming days things will get better. If you haven't, do like, do share, do subscribe to Arunfoot. Thank you. We're growing quite a bit. We've grown in the last 2-3 days quite a lot, and trying to do a few more interviews in the coming days. Do watch what Khalid says in the press conference if you haven't. There are quite a bit of statements which are very interesting. And if you haven't, do watch the Shan Hundred interview, and I'll be back as soon as I can. Thanks. Good night, gute Nacht, and catch you soon, guys.